Hello, I am Dane DiFebo, Museum Educator at the National Civil War Museum here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I bring to you this captivating story of the American Civil War for the month of December. December 7th, 2021 is the 80th anniversary of the surprise Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, which spurred the United States' entry into World War II. The attack was made 76 years after the end of the Civil War, so there were still Civil War veterans alive in America that day. In memory of that tragic day, I will be exploring some of the connections between that event and the Civil War era. First, it should be noted that 17 of the 100 U.S. Naval and Coast Guard vessels assigned to the Pacific Fleet in the 14th Naval District at Pearl Harbor were named after Civil War veterans and personalities. The only Coast Guard vessel of the 17 was the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Tawny, which was named after Supreme Court Justice Roger B. Taney, who was most noted for delivering the majority opinion in the Dred Scott decision. The Tawny was undamaged in the Japanese attack as it was moored in Honolulu Harbor. Of the remaining 16 naval vessels named after Civil War veterans, only one, the Mahan-class destroyer, the USS Cummings, took minor damage from bomb fragments in the attack and experienced no casualties. The Cummings was named after Andrew Boyd Cummings, a U.S. naval officer from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, who was killed off of the coast of Louisiana in the Civil War in March of 1863. Another of the naval vessels, the USS Ward, a Wicks-class destroyer that was also used in World War I, takes the credit for the first American shots of the Pacific War, which were fired at 6:30 a.m. on December 7th, 1941, when they successfully sunk a Japanese midget submarine and killed two. The namesake of this destroyer, Commander James Harmon Ward, was oddly the first Union naval officer killed in the Civil War as part of a landing party at the Battle of Matthias Point, Virginia on June 27, 1861. An interesting connection that can be made with two of the undamaged Pearl Harbor naval vessels and their Civil War namesakes is that these vessels, the USS Worden and the USS Selfridge, were named after commanders of the famed Union ironclad, the USS Monitor. One of the undamaged vessels, the USS Farragut, was named for Admiral David Glasgow Farragut of the Civil War fame, and another was named for George Dewey, a Union naval officer and Spanish-American War admiral. A third undamaged vessel, the USS Tracy, was named for Union Army of the Potomac and Medal of Honor recipient Benjamin F. Tracy, who served as Secretary of the Navy under President Benjamin Harrison. Though it is difficult to determine the number of Americans who died and survived that tragic day that had relatives, fathers, and grandfathers who served in the Civil War, it should be noted that four-star Admiral in command of the Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor, Husband E. Kimmel, was the son of Major Manning M. Kimmel, an 1857 West Point graduate who fought for the Union at the war's beginning and then switched sides to fight for the Confederacy, as many of his neighbors were fighting for the Confederacy. Additionally, General Walter Short, commander of the U.S. Army's Hawaiian Department, which contained the military installations defending the islands at the time of Pearl Harbor, was the son of Dr. Hiram S. Short, a North Carolinian by birth, who received an education in the northern Midwest and interestingly served in the Union 35th Illinois Infantry in the Western Theater of the Civil War, including Sherman's March to the Sea. I hope you enjoyed this captivating story of the American Civil War, which addresses the connections between the Civil War and the tragic attack at Pearl Harbor. Please subscribe to the National Civil War Museum's YouTube channel to view other videos and captivating stories as well. Thank you.